All right, welcome back to the channel, everybody. Here to break down the season finale trailer, the promo trailer for the upcoming episode 10. Of course, like I said, it's the finale of season 1 of the House of Ashur. So I'm not even going to waste you guys' time. We're going to jump right into this. I'm going to give my thoughts slash, I can't even say review but you know what I'm saying. I'm going to give my thoughts over this and what do I see possibly happening in the episode. So without further ado, my good people, let's waste no more time. Let's get into it.
They hold that we among it are lesser. That they stand above us and never shall. Show them who we truly are.
All right, there you have it there. There we go. All right, so some of the things I wanted to discuss that happened in the trailer. Of course, I'm going to start off right at the beginning, guys. Achilea looking nice and shiny in that new armor. So the drip in that looking nice, but I don't know if it's new armor. I don't think that's the armor she had when she fought Ammonius or whatever in the when she fought at the beginning of the season, episode 5. I don't think that's the same armor, but either way, if it is, they polished it up. It's shiny, it's looking good, and she's looking good as usual. We also get the return of what I like to call this guy the menace that he is, and that is Spartacus. I mean, look at that face, man. Look at that smile. You know that guy's up to no good, and you want to knock that shit-eating grin off his face. And we all know Ashur, the House of Ashur, is going to come out on top. But what is going to be the cost, though? I think the House of Ashur is going to come out on top and knock that shit-eating grin off his face. But villains like Spartacus, somehow they find a way. And I think he's definitely going to be around for next season. But it's good. It's going to be good to see him lose. Also, we get images of Ashur and Vidia. Of course, he's going to go over there and give his sweetest sympathies to the one that's dearest to his heart. But he's going there with a heavy heart and a conflicted heart, because we know, though he respected her father, he was complicit in the death of his father. And that's something that's a cloud that's going to constantly linger over his head. And we all know in this world, and even in our world, in real life, in the real world, which we come from, that whatever you do in the dark will be brought to light. So this is definitely something that will be brought up, and Vidia will find out about. I mean, Gabinius, great Gabinius, good Gabinius's final words were, he was telling them, she will find out. She will find out. And I that's a guarantee. She's going to find out about it, unfortunately. But at the same time, as this trailer is going on, we also hear Ashur down in the bowels of the arena, hyping up his men, coaching them up, giving them a speech. It reminds me a lot of, he's in the same situation this season to what Batiatus was in Gods of the Arena, where this moment, this Primus, everything, the future of the house rides on all this. He has to be successful or they will be in ruin. And it all rides on this. And so he's coaching these guys up. It's very similar. It reminds me of Gods of the Arena. With that being done, also we get some footage of Taron and Achilea fighting each other, which I think is going on here is, I believe Taron has finally, he's heeded the words that his father has tried to tell him throughout the season, and Chorus said in the last episode of, at this point I need you to help the champion, and so I think what we see here is not fighting her as an adversary, but he's fighting her to help her for her fight in the Primus, because as you can see, he is using the style of, I don't want to say it wrong, Damacaneris or whatever, two swords, the Gannicus Spartacus style of fighting. So, and we know Taron fights in Mamillo. He fights with a shield and a sword, much to like Crixus. So this shows that I think he's finally got on board, and this is also growth in his character. He's growing the fuck up. Because like I said in previous videos that predicting Calidus's death is integral to the growth of Tarkon. You know, it's like his own hero's journey. Because you know, in the hero's journey, like I said before, you start every hero, they start off with a mentor, and the mentor teaches them, and eventually that mentor leaves them, and they have to go on the journey without that mentor. And so he lost his father, who was the mentor for him. And like I said, this is part of his growth. Hopefully he grows the fuck up. Also, we get to see little man, Satarius, covered in blood. It looks like he may have got another victory. I'm very interested to see how he pulled this victory off. The last time he fought, you know, he caught dude lacking. He caught him lacking, spear to the throat. But this time, it looks like he was in there getting busy. You know, he's covered in blood and he's hyped. And we see what appears, I think this is Achilles standing behind him. So what could this be? I mean, he's mixing in with the ops. He's mixing in with the enemies. You house Proculus. But like I said before, I think Satarius is going to somehow come on to our side, because Proculus doesn't give a shit about him. You know, and that's what I think is starting to be the turn in this episode. We see what appears to be Ashur and Achilles embracing each other, you know, much like, you know, Spartacus embraced Crixus many times. Like, you know, we see in other gladiators, they embrace each other. It's actually showing that he actually cares about these guys. Now, at the same time, you know, that could be an act, because Batiatus was very good at that. It could be an act. He could be very duplicitous, and I think a part of you has to be that way if you're going to be running gladiators and being in the ludus. I mean, there has to be a part of you that, you know, operates that way. But I think, you know, at least with her, I think he cares. I think he cares, and they're genuinely walking lock and step with each other. And then we get, of course, a shot of Gabinius, 2 coins on the eyes for the boatman. And then in this next clip here, we see Kasudia looking worried, not like sad as if she was grieving. At least in this shot I'm seeing here, she looks worried. Now, what could this be? Is this the arrival of Uncle Servius? Because this man, like I said earlier in the previous review, this man has been mentioned. The man had been mentioned twice. First by just my brother, and then we got a name. We got an actual name. And let's just say it was when he's mentioned, people get concerned. And so with Gabinius not having a male heir and being in charge, to be in charge of his estate, his brother would probably have to come, or at least he would be at the funeral. His brother died, so he would have to be at the funeral. So do you think, guys, we're going to see Uncle Servius this episode? Or the person that may be giving Kasudia worry is none other than the menace, Proculus. He's coming back to her, probably giving her the look like, I told you, you ain't here. Don't let me catch you slipping. So like, she's maybe worried about that. Like let's just say he doesn't even approach her, but she sees him, and then she starts to get, you know, a little trigger, a little trauma from their previous conversation. So that also could be because, like I said, he's a senator. So everyone of Capua is going to come in and pay their respects. Let's see. And just to kind of wrap this up, we see Achilles going airborne. Now, this shot, though it's a little bit different, but it still does remind me of, because if you look, I believe, is it a Cilician that she's fighting, the female Viking, the sturdy, as I call her, sturdy? She's like a miniature. Now, I did say she looked like Saxon on steroids, but she's also a fun size opposite sex version of Theocles. If you look at her, just the aesthetics of her, she kind of looks like Theocles. And so if you remember in Blood and Sand, Spartacus was ascending to her and came, or to him, and came down on him, whereas we have Achilles descending down. Now, I brought up Gods of the Arena, and the kind of reason why I brought up Gods of the Arena, guys, with this shot, it really got me thinking, do you think they'll do this? Let me just put this on you. Let me drop this on you guys. Do you think, because we know Achilea is going to win, do you guys think that, and I can see the menace doing this, I can see him doing this, Achilea wins and he offers her freedom like they did Gannicus? Because remember, the guy did that so to injure Batiatus, you know. And so could you see this happening again? Because we see a lot of callbacks and a lot of things from the previous series. And this is definitely could be one of them, that she earns her freedom. Think about that, guys. Do you think that's a possibility? Could we get that? I don't know. I mean, it's a very good possibility. Like I said, I just thought of this before I did the video. I'm like, what if, because Proclus, they're going to lose. He gets a win that way. He gets up and goes, I've never seen anything like this. We've never seen a female, the champion. I think she deserves her freedom. And they give her the freedom. Once again, Ashur winning, but losing. Remember, this guy, whenever he gets a victory, he takes one step forward and he falls back. Circumstances, sometimes of his own making, knocks his ass back down. So, I don't know, guys. What do you think about that? What do you think about that? Do you think that's a possibility? So, all right, guys, those are just my quick thoughts over the trailer. Can't wait for the finale. As of right now, guys, I know I said earlier we quite didn't make the goal of the 1K before the month ended. Today is the last day. Last time I checked at the numbers, we're at 991. And where I'm at in the world, here in the United States, it is 6:45 Central Time. So we still got time to make that happen. But like I said, if it doesn't happen, I think it eventually will. I mean, these videos are getting out here. Like I said, I'm going to do more videos on other things. So, I mean, I'm here. I ain't going nowhere, so we're just going to keep adding it. It may take a little longer, but we're going to get there. So with that being said, everybody, like I always say, if it's for 1 minute, 5 minutes of the whole damn video, guys, I appreciate you taking time out of your day to view my content. If you haven't already, do me a favor, hit that subscribe, smash the like, and of course, like y'all always do, even some of y'all get on here and I won't say get at me, but y'all let me know, and that's cool. Like I had somebody, and I can't remember your name, and this is with all due respect, because I said it. I said anytime somebody has a critique, I will definitely hear them out and hear what they say. I may not necessarily go through with it, but I had someone say, hey, I really like your stuff. I think in your last video, the last video I did, that, some of your clips you added in for, comedy purposes, I think it took away from your video. So I said, cool. I like the feedback. Now, maybe I'll lighten up on them, but I'm not going to take them completely out, because sometimes they work. You just mess with it, but it's just, I get what they're saying. I will take that in consideration, but, it is what it is. And of course, we have some people that say, they come in here and say they don't like the show, and they've given reasons why. And like I said, it's cool. It's cool. I like how you guys you're keeping it pretty civil, but hey, I feel everyone's entitled to their opinion, just long as you don't go there. You don't take it through. Long as you keep it as civil as possible. I don't want anybody going too far, but hey, every view counts. So with that being said, y'all, like I said, I'm gonna go ahead and punch out of here. And guys, I will see you in the next video. Take it easy.